In 1873, Jake woke up in the heart of New Mexico, completely devoid of any recollection of his identity or the circumstances that led him there. He found a mysterious wound on his stomach, a photograph of an unfamiliar woman on the ground, and a peculiar bracelet adorning his arm. Despite attempting to remove the bracelet and even striking it with a rock to no avail, his efforts proved futile. Three cowboys suddenly appeared, mistaking Jake for a fugitive and attempting to capture him. In a swift and defensive move, Jake managed to overpower and eliminate all three cowboys within seconds. Subsequently, Jake seized some clothing, money, and a firearm before embarking on a horse into town, accompanied by the cowboy's faithful dog. Upon his arrival in the town, Jake observed the dwindling population and impoverished conditions. Seeking aid for his wound, he sought refuge in what appeared to be an abandoned house, only to be discovered by Preacher Meacham, who initially held Jake at gunpoint until realizing his amnesiac state and need for assistance. Meacham then tended to Jake's wound, noting its strange cauterized appearance, indicating a non-traditional cause. Meacham elaborated on the town's history as a former mining community, now deserted after the exhaustion of gold reserves. Gunshots rang out, signaling the arrival of Percy, a troublemaking youth whose father's cattle business monopolized the town's job prospects. Referred to as Doc due to his profession, the local bartender confronted Percy over his disruptive behavior and freeloading habits, much to the disapproval of Doc's wife, Maria. Despite her efforts to prevent a conflict, Percy's temper flared as he advanced to strike. Meacham intervened to defuse the situation, prompting Percy to sarcastically solicit donations from the townspeople to compensate for Doc's alleged misfortune. Jake declines to cooperate and strikes Percy, an action that catches Ella's attention as she observes with curiosity. Enraged, Percy fires a warning shot that accidentally hits a man, prompting Sheriff Taggart to intervene and arrest him. Nat, a Native American in the employ of Percy's father, cautions Taggart against apprehending Percy due to potential repercussions. However, Taggart explains that he has no choice as Percy shot a deputy and must be handed over to the federal marshal. Concurrently, three cattle herders are tending to their livestock when an unexpected object falls nearby, engulfing the area in a luminous explosion. Only one of the men survives by falling into the river while attending to nature's call, emerging to discover the landscape decimated. In the town, Taggart escorts Percy to jail and comes across a wanted poster featuring Jake's likeness. As for Jake, he visits a local pub and engages in a conversation with Ella, who inquires about the origin of the bracelet he wears. Their discussion is abruptly interrupted by Taggart, accompanied by his deputies to apprehend Jake, with his grandson Emmett observing from outside. Refusing to surrender, Jake subdues all the men, but as he prepares to confront Taggart, Emmett intervenes, preventing a violent escalation. At that moment, Ella strikes Jake on the head, rendering him unconscious and triggering a flashback involving Alice, the woman in the photograph, an abandoned dwelling, gold coins, a luminous phenomenon, and peculiar entities. Upon awakening, Jake finds himself incarcerated alongside Percy in the jail cell. Because of the boy's persistent pestering, Jake uses a punch to knock him unconscious. Meanwhile, Percy's father, Dollarhide, interrogates the lone survivor of the explosion in an attempt to extract a confession about his missing cattle, refusing to believe the story about the mysterious lights. His interrogation is abruptly halted by Nat, who updates him on Percy's situation in the presence of the notorious Jake in the vicinity. Dollarhide allows Nat to leave before rallying his men to head into town. As Taggart handcuffs Jake to transport him to the marshal, he enumerates the numerous charges against him, such as arson, assault, robbery, and the murder of Alice. Jake disputes the accusation regarding Alice, as his fragmented memories suggest a deep affection for her. Jake and Percy are then placed together in a vehicle for transportation, where Ella approaches him once more, expressing regret for her actions but explaining her motive for not letting him escape. Emmett, Taggart's grandson, is reluctant to see his grandfather depart, as he is his sole family member. But before their departure, Dollarhide arrives with his men. Accusing Jake of stealing his gold and demanding his son's return, Dollarhide engages in a heated argument with Taggart to prevent their removal. Suddenly, a series of lights manifest in the sky, with Jake's bracelet emitting a beeping sound. As the lights draw nearer, they are revealed to be extraterrestrial starships attacking the town, causing chaos with fires and terrifying the horses. As the men arm themselves for defense, Emmett tries to seek shelter under a building. Taggart goes after him to ensure his safety. However, the aliens are also abducting many people, taking both Taggart and Maria. In response, Ella rushes to rescue Emmett. The vehicle carrying the prisoners departs but crashes, prompting Jake to break Percy's finger to free him from the handcuffs. Yet, they are trapped with no clear escape route. Suddenly, Jake's bracelet lights up, emitting an energy beam that blasts open the car door, allowing Jake to break free. Percy, too fearful to flee, is rescued by Dollarhide. Yet, before they can retreat, the aliens take Percy as well. Jake attempts to use the bracelet once more, successfully downing a starship and driving the rest away. He and Dollarhide cautiously approach the fallen craft, discovering it empty, leading the town to believe demons are at play. A sudden scream draws their attention to a house where someone fends off a creature that flees in the direction of the starships. Nat finds tracks on the ground, determined to track the creature, prompting Dollarhide to plan to depart the next morning. He intends to bring Jake along due to the bracelet, but Jake refuses. In response, Dollarhide strikes Jake, only to receive a retaliatory blow before Jake departs. The following morning, Jake realizes Ella is trailing him and confronts her for answers. Ella reveals that the aliens also took her people, and she has been searching for them. She proposes they collaborate, but Jake declines and leaves once more. Shortly after, he locates the dwelling he had envisioned, triggering a new recollection. Himself arriving at the house and greeting Alice with a kiss. He brought along a collection of gold coins that Alice disapproved of, labeling it as tainted money. Their quarrel was abruptly disrupted by a radiant light seeping through the roof, seizing the coins and both of them. The intense light snatched Alice away, revealing her linked to an unfamiliar contraption. Meanwhile, in the vicinity, Dollarhide readies his team for departure, with Doc, Ella, Emmett, and the canine accompanying them. After a brief ride, they encounter Jake, who decides to lend a hand as he seeks to locate Alice. As night descends, the group is astonished to discover a colossal vessel inverted in the heart of the desert, a puzzling sight since there are no rivers nearby. With the downpour intensifying, they opt to seek shelter within the vessel. Nat ponders if alerting the military would have been wise, but Dollarhide declines, harboring bitterness from his past life as a colonel. He recounts the tragedies of war he endured, while Nat reminisces about the fondness he held for Dollarhide's narratives, drawing the colonel's ire as those tales were intended solely for his son. Emmett observes the exchange attentively, intrigued by Dollarhide's knife, prompting the colonel to entrust the blade to the youngster for protection. Meanwhile, Doc seizes the opportunity to learn marksmanship from Meacham, and Jake sets out to find a clean water source to tend to his injury. Ella locates him, stressing the importance of his recollections, when abruptly, Jake's bracelet emits a signal and rats scurry in all directions. The aliens have arrived, swiftly eliminating several men from the shadows. Emmett hears the dog bark, and when he investigates, he encounters the alien as well. Emmett accidentally loses the knife in fright, and the creature exposes additional limbs to grab him. Just then, Meacham arrives and attempts to shoot the alien to rescue the boy. The bullet proves ineffective, and the alien attacks him until Jake also emerges. Neither Jake's bullets nor Meacham's had any effect, but Jake employs the bracelet, causing the alien to flee. Subsequently, Jake checks on Meacham, but tragically, the preacher passes away in his arms. The following morning, Emmett can't locate the dog, and Dollarhide is left with only a few men. Jake and Doc bury Meacham, offering a few words before reuniting with the group to continue pursuing the alien. During their journey, Dollarhide recounts the tale of his first kill to Emmett, emphasizing the importance of not hesitating next time. Later, Nat discovers more footprints leading toward the canyon. The group endeavors to hasten their pace, but they are ambushed by a group of cowboys blocking the road. Surprisingly, this gang lowers their weapons upon recognizing Jake as their former leader, who they assisted in a gold heist. Jake pretends to recognize them and directs them to take the group back to their camp, now under the control of Dolan. Attempting to rally his old gang to join him, Jake is stopped by Dolan, who reveals the gang's resentment towards Jake for deserting them to pursue the gold for a woman. As the gang grills Jake to divulge the gold's whereabouts, the bracelet signals, interrupting their interrogation. Jake employs it to eliminate Dolan and compel the others to drop their weapons, enabling the group to flee. The gang quickly pursues them, but once they are in a spacious area, the aliens locate them and attack from their spaceships. One of the ships seizes Ella, prompting Jake to trail it on his horse until he can leap onto the ship and disable it with the bracelet, causing it to crash into a river. As Jake and Ella emerge from the water, they are confronted by the alien pilot who injures Ella before Jake eliminates it with the bracelet. Ella sustains a severe wound, which Jake dresses with a piece of her garment before carrying her until rejoining the group. Doc examines Ella, but sadly, it is too late as she has passed away. Before Jake can process the tragedy, the group is encircled by Chiricahua Apaches who capture him and bring them to their tribe. An Apache warrior cremates Ella's body while Chief Black Knife approaches the group, explaining with Nat's help that they hold the cowboys responsible for attracting the aliens to the area. Tensions escalate until the bonfire suddenly ignites, revealing Ella emerging unharmed, admitting to deceiving everyone. It is revealed that she is also an alien who assumed a human form as a disguise, needing time to heal. Ella hails from a different planet than the hostile aliens on Earth, her own kind having fallen victim to them as well. These aliens seek gold, a rare resource for them, and the abducted individuals are being studied to identify humanity's vulnerabilities. Should this information be transmitted to their home planet, a formidable army will return. Black Knife and his warriors prepare to confront the aliens, with Ella indicating they can be found if Jake recalls their location. The Apaches concoct a special drink to jog his memory, helping Jake recollect that he and Ella were in the aliens' operating chamber. The creature experimented on Ella first, leading to her demise, and then turned its attention to Jake using a surgical tool that left a strange wound. In self-defense, Jake utilized the tool, inadvertently activating a bracelet left behind by the alien, which attached to his wrist. Escaping the room, Jake discovered it was the alien mothership connected to a network of caves in the canyon. The following day, the group heads to the location with Ella revealing that the mothership is mining for gold with the aliens concealed inside. Smaller alien ships fly in and out of the structure, prompting them to consider utilizing the caves to counter the threat. Dollarhide aims to draw the aliens out to allow Jake to infiltrate unnoticed, sparking a disagreement with Black Knife, who prefers his own battle tactics and resists following a white man's lead. Meanwhile, Jake sets off to locate his gang embroiled in a dispute over dividing their meager gold stash alongside their dog. While they contemplate fleeing from the aliens, Jake stresses the need to stand and fight, emphasizing the aliens' determination to find them and proposing a plan to reclaim the gold. In the canyon, Nat explains to Black Knife the kindness Dollarhide showed him after the war, earning Dollarhide's unexpected gratitude. Black Knife questions Dollarhide's combat prowess with a small group, but his doubts are dispelled as Jake arrives with his entire gang, uniting everyone in a common cause. The team spends the night preparing for their mission, and Nat is allowed to join the tribe due to his respected status as a good Apache. Ella takes the opportunity to inform Jake that she won't be staying around for long, and Jake responds by kissing her. The following morning, the group hides while Jake and some of his men ascend the mothership to set explosives at the top before descending. The plan succeeds, causing the aliens to emerge, prompting the group to open fire. Emmett and the dog keep watch while Doc tends to the wounded, and Jake and Ella enter the cave. A fierce battle erupts between humans and aliens, resulting in casualties on both sides, including Dollarhide being knocked off his horse. When an alien threatens to kill him, Nat comes to his rescue but is overpowered and dragged to the ground. Despite Dollarhide's attempts to distract the alien, it takes Doc's shot to finally defeat it. Dollarhide expresses his paternal sentiments to Nat before Nat succumbs to his injuries. In the cave, Jake and Ella discover the mining machine, leading them deeper into the tunnels where they find the captives linked to a bright light. Ella destroys the light, freeing everyone from its hypnosis. While Ella releases the victims, Jake confronts a group of aliens and eliminates them with the bracelet, though more aliens approach. Jake positions himself at the tunnel entrance, defending against the incoming aliens as Ella guides the victims to safety. Instead of leaving the cave, Ella ventures deeper inside, prompting Jake to follow her. Outside the mothership, more aliens emerge, with one targeting Emmett. Initially, he attempts to hide, but then summons his courage and stabs the creature. Meanwhile, in the caves, Jake finds Ella at the base of the mothership, determined to destroy it by detonating the bracelet. Jake struggles to remove it, so Ella kisses him, causing the bracelet to fall off. She enters the mothership's core, asking Jake to pass her the bracelet. Instead of simply dropping it, she takes it deeper into the ship, willing to sacrifice herself to save the world. Jake wants to follow her, but more aliens appear, forcing him to seek refuge in another room. Outside, Emmett sees the liberated victims exiting the cave and announces it, but Dollarhide, upon learning that Jake and Ella are missing, enters the caves too. Inside, an alien grabs Jake, intending to return him to the surgery table. Dollarhide arrives and distracts the alien, allowing Jake to shoot a pot of melting gold onto it, killing the creature. As the aliens face defeat, the mothership prepares to depart. Jake and Dollarhide flee the caves, while Ella confronts an alien trying to stop her. However, She activates the bracelet, causing the ship to explode as it lifts off. With their adversaries vanquished, the group reunites with their loved ones. Emmett finds Taggart, Doc reunites with Maria, and Dollarhide sees Percy freed. Later, Jake visits his old home to pay tribute to Alice, then returns to town, which is thriving thanks to the gold obtained from the aliens and the forthcoming railroad. Percy behaves and becomes Dollarhide's business partner. Surprisingly, Jake returns to town, where Dollarhide and Taggart, now accompanied by the dog, welcome him back. They assure him that they will cover for his past as a wanted criminal, allowing him to leave peacefully and start afresh. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.